Hello friends, welcome to EduTap and also welcome to the series which we have started for IBPS A4 2020-21, that is agriculture. And as part of that series, today we are going to do memory based questions of mains exam of the year 2018-19, that is in Jan 2019 this IBPS A4 mains exam was conducted and we are going to do those memory based questions. So this is lecture number 23 in this series. So friends, I have one more announcement. We at EduTap, we have launched courses for IBPS A4 2020-21 and as I have promised, we have launched the courses for IBPS A4 Mains 2020-21 and you can find the links to the demo courses as well as payment links in the description box below. So you can go through that and avail the offer. So friends, before starting with the session, I have a small disclaimer here. I couldn't, collect all the 60 questions of this exam. I could collect only some 53 to 54 questions. So which we'll be discussing right now in this session. So starting with this session, the first question, the scheme ENAM, it was launched in which year? See, this scheme ENAM was launched in the year 2016 and this was launched on 14th April 2016 by Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi. Now, what is this ENAM? It is an online trading platform for agricultural commodities in India. And as of 15th May 2020, at least a total of 1,000 mandis have been integrated onto this platform ENAM. In phase 1, it was 585 mandis that were integrated and then in phase 2, 415. So total 1,000 mandis have been integrated and now government is planning to connect more of the local farmer markets also with this platform so that farmers can sell their commodities without any problem. Next question, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana was launched in which year? See, this was launched in the year again 2016 and this was launched on 18th Feb 2016 by the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi. And this is an insurance service for the farmers for their yields. And this was launched in line with One Nation, One Scheme theme by replacing earlier two schemes. One is National Agricultural Insurance Scheme, that is NAIS, and the other is Modified National Agricultural Insurance Scheme, that is MNAIS. So by merging these two, this was formulated and launched. And the premium rates are 2% for all the kharif crops, 1.5% for all rabi crops and 5% for all the commercial and horticulture crops. This is the premium rates that need to be paid by the farmers. So friends, now next question is, what is the MSP of wheat crop for 2017-18? See, it was 1735 per quintal at that time, but now for the year 2020-21 it is 1975 rupees per quintal, and these MSPs are announced by the government of India at the beginning of sowing of the season for certain crops, and that too on the basis of the recommendations of the Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices, that is CACP. And the major objective of this, it is to support the farmers from distress sales and to produce food grains for public distribution. So to avoid all these and to fill up the food grains for public distribution in government godowns, this MSP is being released. So friends, next question, what is MSP of paddy, that is common variety, for 2018-19? See, the correct answer here is rupees 1750 per quintal, and now for the year 2020-21 MSP of paddy, that is common grade, it is rupees 1868 per quintal. And as usual, this is released by the announced by the government of India at the beginning of sowing of the season for certain crops on basis of recommendation of CACP. So friends, next comes is, what is the premium rate for all commercial and horticulture crops under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana? We have just now discussed, it is 5%. For kharif crops it is 2% and for rabi crops the premium rate is 1.5%. Next question is, what is the uniform premium rate for all Rabi crops under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana? And it is 1.5%. And as we have already discussed all this, I'm just skipping this. So what is the uniform premium rate for all oil seeds crops under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana? And as per the options given, it is none of the above, and there is no premium rate as based on the crop. The premium rates under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana are based on the season only, according to seasons like kharif, rabi, etc., but not according to specific crops. Only for horticulture and commercial crops, because they have, they don't have seasonal uh, life cycle as such. They are, biennials, sometimes perennials also. That's the reason only for them it is based on commercial and horticulture crops. Otherwise, for rest of the agriculture crops especially, they are based on season only, but not based on or according to specific crops. So friends, next comes is, what is the maximum limit of bank loan for building social infrastructure as per Reserve Bank of India, that is RBI, and it is rupees 5 crores. As you can see here, this is an excerpt taken from RBI site itself. Bank loans up to a limit of rupees 50 million or rupees 5 crores per borrower for building social infrastructure for activities like schools, healthcare facilities, drinking water facilities, sanitation facilities. They all come under social infrastructure only. And especially in tier 1 to tier 4, 6 centers are eligible for classification under priority sector. And here the bank credit to MFIs, that is microfinance institutions, extended for on lending to individuals or members of SHGs or JLGs for water and sanitation facilities, that also is, eligible for classification as priority sector loans under social infrastructure, subject to certain criteria. They have their own criteria based on which these can be classified under priority sector loans. And the maximum limit of bank loan for building social infrastructure as per RBI is rupees 5 crores. So friends, next comes is, in Blue Revolution scheme, what percent of subsidy for fish culture for general sections? Now, or what percentage of subsidy is given? And the correct answer is it's 40%. As you can see here, for any proposal, the total admissible government subsidy, both central and state put together, will be limited to 40% of the project cost for general category beneficiaries, and at the same time it is 60% of the project cost for weaker sections like scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, women and other cooperatives. And this also is an excerpt taken from the government site itself regarding these uh, subsidies. So friends, next question is, according to NABARD model bankable schemes, especially that, optimal number of graftable scions from each plant after 4 years can be how much? It is, the number of graftable scions from each plant after 4 years is 25. This also is an excerpt taken from the bankable model scheme for establishment of modern nursery unit for production of quality planting material for perennial horticulture crops. Here, as part of that, the graftable scions will be available from second year of planting, but the optimum number of around 25 graftable scions can be obtained from fourth year onwards. So here the correct answer is 25. So friends, next comes is, India's banana export is highest to which of the following countries? Here, as per the options provided, the correct answer is Saudi Arabia. But as per the, data that is there available, UAE is the country, to which the banana export from India is the highest, and that too for the year, especially 2020. And this was a question that was asked in 2018-19 exam. So by that time it might be Saudi Arabia, but for the year 2020 it is UAE, United Arab Emirates. It has imported the largest value of fresh bananas from India in the year 2020. So friends, next comes is, which of the following crops? See here again the options were given, And according to the options, the correct answer is provided. Which of the following crops is low to medium sensitive to water shortage? And of all the options, cotton was the correct answer there. So friends, next comes is again of nutrition. Young leaves turns chlorotic and stalk short due to which of the following nutrient deficiency? And here the correct answer is iron. And here iron deficiency generally appears, first in the younger leaves, or the one which are freshly erupted. And here, as you can see here, this is a fresh leaf. This is a non chlorotic or non deficient, non iron deficient leaf. And here, as you can see here, this is chlorotic, and here especially the veins are green, only the rest of the leaf is yellow. And then slowly these, they'll become pale, and then they can even drop off. So young leaves wherein turn chlorotic and also the veins are green in color, it is because of iron deficiency. So friends, next is which of the following does not supply nitrogen? See, of all the options here, the correct answer was Trichoderma viride. And what is the use of Trichoderma viride? See, it is a fungus, and generally it is used as a biofungicide, and it is used for seed and soil treatment for suppression of various diseases caused by fungal pathogens. And other three options that were provided by were Rhizobium, Azotobacter and Azospirillum, which are again nitrogen supplying fertilizers. The only non-nitrogen supplying fertilizer is not fertilizer, actually it's a biofungicide. It is Trichoderma viride that was given in the options. So friends, next comes is what is the pH value of acidic soils? Generally, when the pH of soils is less than 5.5, they are considered to be acidic, and lower the pH value, higher will be the acidity of the soil. So friends, the number of markets covered under ENAM till date. See, kindly understand this question was asked in 2018-19 IBPS A4 mains exam. So during that time the correct answer was 585. But if this question was asked this year, then it would be 1000 mandis, because as on 15th May 2020, as per both phases, phase 1 and phase 2, a total of 1000 mandis across 18 states and 3 union territories have been brought onto ENAM platform. In phase 1 it was 585. In phase 2 they have integrated 450 new mandis, and based on that the total are 1000 mandis across 18 states and 3 union territories. So friends, next is cashew nut is propagated by. See, the most commercial and easiest way of propagating cashew nut is softwood grafting. After that will come top working and various other methods of propagation of cashew nut. See, this is the most popular and the best method for commercial multiplication of cashew varieties, and it is found to be suitable for propagation almost round the year. But however, higher success rate of grafting can be achieved during June to October due to the abundance of mature scion shoots, favorable temperature and higher relative humidity conditions. So friends, next question is the CRI, that is crown root initiation, tillering and booting are the critical irrigation stages of which crop? And the correct answer here is wheat crop. See, CRI, tillering, booting, these are the stages in wheat crop only. As you can see, these are the critical irrigation stages of wheat crop, that is CRI, tillering, late jointing, flowering, milking and grain filling. And these are days after sowing. After how many days after sowing this stage will arrive, and critical irrigation phase is obviously that is arrived along with that. So these are the stages at which compulsory irrigation should be provided to the crop so as to save the yield or increase the yield. So friends, next is what is the maximum pattern of financial assistance for procurement of power tiller above 8 PTO HP for SC, ST, small and marginal or women farmers? And the correct answer is 50%. This is what the maximum financial assistance can be provided to SC, ST, small and marginal or women farmers for procurement of power tillers of 8 PTO. See, as you can see here, this is an excerpt taken from the government site, and for power tiller 8 HP and above, maximum permissible subsidy, for SC, ST marginal farmers, it is 0.75 lakhs, that is 50% of the assistance can be given. And for other beneficiaries, it is 40% only. So friends, next question is, what is the pattern of financial assistance of below 20 bhp tractor driven moldboard plow benefits other than SC, ST, small and marginal or women farmers? And here the correct answer is 40% of the cost, that is up to 16,000, can be provided as financial assistance. So friends, next comes is, what is the assistance for tube well or bore under National Food Security Mission that can be provided? And here the correct answer is 50% of the cost, and financial assistance for tube well or bore maximum of up to 25,000 only can be provided, which is 50% of the total cost. So friends, next question is, which of the following states has the highest alkali soils? That is basic soils, and here the correct answer is Uttar Pradesh, and the alkali soils in Uttar Pradesh are locally called as Usar soils. So friends, next question is, flowering, peg penetration and pod development are the critical irrigation stages are of which crop? And here the correct answer is groundnut. See, the various critical irrigation stages under groundnut are vegetative phase, flowering and peg penetration, pod formation and pod development. And these are days after sowing when these stages arrive. So during that time, irrigation should be compulsorily provided. So friends, next comes is, Government of India is giving for reclamation of problematic soils. It is providing some amount for the same under RKVY scheme, that is Remunerative Approach for Agriculture and Allied Sector Rejuvenation, that is RAFTAR scheme. And here this is previously called as RKVY scheme, that is Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. Now what is the unit cost per hectare given by government for reclamation of acidic soils especially? Here the correct answer is 15,000 per hectare, and as you can see, for alkaline soils the amount provided for reclamation of such soils is 60,000 per hectare, and for acidic soils it's 15,000 per hectare, and the amount of sharing between states and center is 90:10 between center and states for northeast and Himalayan states, and for the rest of the states it is 60:40 sharing pattern, that is 60% that would be given by the central government and 40 has to be borne by the state governments. So friends, next comes is, what is the maximum pattern of financial assistance for procurement of tractor of 2WD 20 PTO HP for the weaker sections, that is SC, ST, small and marginal or women farmers? And here the financial assistance maximum pattern provided is, as per the options provided, it is none of the above, but it is 50% of the total cost and maximum of up to 2 lakhs only. So friends, next comes is, what is the volume of liquid handled by the high volume sprayer? See, the liquid volume of liquid handled by high volume sprayer is 400 liters per hectare. Now next is, what is the field capacity of tractor drawn power harrow? And here the correct answer is, the field capacity is 1.5 hectares per day. What is the life period of combine harvester according to NABARD scheme, that is NABARD model bankable project related to combine harvesters? And here the correct answer is 6,000 hours. So friends, next comes is, nitrogen content in calcium ammonium nitrate, that is CAN, is It is 25% or on an average 25 to 26%, and this can is called as commonly called as Kisan Khad, and it is one of the important nitrogenous fertilizers. So friends, according to National Horticulture Board, Government of India, which one of the following is having lowest productivity in 2017-18? And this was a question that was asked in 2000, 18-19 exam. So at that time, as per the report, the lowest productivity was for medicinal plants, and it was of 1.6 tons per hectare. So friends, next comes is, in which of the following rivers the estimated utilizable surface flow of water is low? So as per the options given, the correct answer is Narmada. See here, estimated utilizable surface flow of water of Ganga is 250 BCM, and for the Narmada it is 34.5 BCM, which is lowest here. So friends, which of the following crops has the lowest seed replacement rate? And here the correct answer is groundnut, and as per the year 2016-17, which is latest data available, SRR for groundnut is the lowest. And what is this SRR? Seed replacement rate is nothing but how much of the total cropped area was sown with certified seeds in comparison to farm seeds. That is called as seed replacement rate, and it was lowest for groundnut in 2016-17. So friends, next comes is, what is the maximum storage period of commodity in a rural godown? See, this is also as per the NABARD model bankable projects on rural godowns, and as per it, it is 10 months of the maximum storage period for any commodity. And as you can see here, this is an excerpt that I have taken from the NABARD model bankable project on rural godowns, and here it is 10 months. Next is again from the same report, what is the maximum capacity utilization of rural godown? And here the correct answer is 90%, and as you can see here in this report, it is maximum capacity utilization at 90% and maximum storage at 10 months. Again friends, as per the same report of NABARD model bankable projects on rural godowns, what is the capacity of medium size godown? See, as you can see, it is 500 MT, 1000 MT and 2000 MT. All these godowns fall under the same category of medium size godowns. As you can see here, small size godowns, they are 50, 100, 200 and 250 MT. Medium size godowns, as I have mentioned here, and large size godowns, capacity above 2000 MT, they can be considered as large size godowns. So friends, next is cankerous spot on leaves. This occurs by bacterial canker. So friends, next comes is, see, NABARD has formulated fish cum dairy scheme for 1 hectare, that is model bankable project on this. Now according to that, what is the expected grow out period of fish for the project? And here the correct answer is 11 months, and this is the excerpt that has been taken from the that same fish cum dairy NABARD model bankable project. As you can see here, grow out period of fish is 11 months. So friends, next is NABARD has formulated the same fish cum dairy scheme for 1 hectare, NABARD model bankable project for fish cum dairy scheme. And now according to that, what is the number of crossbred cows that can be taken as an assumption? And here the correct answer is 5, and it is the same excerpt that I have taken from the same scheme. As you can see here, total number of crossbred cows for 1 hectare, it is 5, and this is the growth period of fish, and the stocking density of fish is 5000 numbers, and here average milk per cow is 8 liters, stocking size of fish is 50 grams to 60 grams, etc. And this is the production of fish, 3000 kg in the first year and 3500 kg from the second year onwards. So friends, next comes is, which of the following is the medium to high irrigation sensitive crop? And here as per the options provided, the correct answer is wheat. And next comes is which of the following is the high irrigation sensitive crop? And as per the options provided, the correct answer is cabbage. And which greenhouse classification is based on construction? See friends, greenhouses can be classified based on construction, based on the materials used, based on the shape. So according to that and as per the options provided, wooden frame greenhouse structure, this is a greenhouse, that classification of greenhouse based on construction. So friends, next question is which greenhouse classification is based on covering material? As I have mentioned, based on construction, based on covering material, based on the shape. See, there are various greenhouses. So here, as per the options provided, glass glazing greenhouse is a type of greenhouse based on covering material. So friends, next comes is what is the minimum age of individual category for Nari Shakti Puraskar? It is 25 years, and Nari Shakti Puraskar is a an annual award given by the Ministry of Women and Child Development of Government of India to individual women or to institutions who work towards a cause of for women empowerment. And here 25 years is the minimum age in the individual category, because as per the category there are individual and institutional. So as in for individuals it is 25 years, and there are given in 6 institutional and 2 individual categories which carry a cash prize of rupees 2 lakhs and 1 lakh respectively. So friends, Nari Shakti Puraskar guidelines were revised in which year? These guidelines were revised in 2016, and the explanation about what exactly is it we have already discussed. So friends, next question is in India, how many districts are covered under lead bank scheme? And as per the options provided in the exam, it was none of the above, none of the answers were correct. But here as on June 30, 2019, which is the latest data available on lead bank scheme, uh, data. Here 18 public sector banks and 1 private sector bank have been assigned lead bank responsibility in 717 districts in the country, and Uttar Pradesh has the highest lead banks in the country. So friends, next comes is according to National Horticulture Board, Government of India, which of the following has the highest productivity tons per hectare in 2017-18? And the correct answer is vegetables, and the productivity of vegetables in 2017-18 was 17.8 tons per hectare, and this is as per the horticulture statistics 2018 also. This is the same data, and which is the latest as well as of now currently. So friends, goat pox vaccine is developed by, see this has been developed, that is attenuated vaccine of this goat pox. It was developed by IVRA, that is Indian Veterinary Research Institute. So friends, in which of the following methods many plants with drooping or viney growth habit can be propagated? These can be propagated, by tip layering. See, as you can see here, this is how tip layering is done. The tip of this is buried into the soil, which again, rooting happens, and then it will grow out into a new plant. So friends, next comes is which of the following cause damage inside the stem by boring into the stem and feeding on them? And here the correct answer is pseudo stem borer. This is what as per the option. Yes, this is also one of the stem borers that bore into the stem and feed on it. This is a pseudo stem borer of banana, that is Oidoporus longicolis. So friends, in which of the following can you observe the gall formation of root? As per the options and as per the, if you can directly ask also, the gall formation of roots is generally formed by root knot nematode, the knots that are formed by this nematode attack. So friends, next comes is which of the following tillage operation leaves 15 to 30% of the residue cover over the field while preparing the land? Here the correct answer is reduced tillage, which is also called as conservation tillage, wherein there is a minimized soil disturbance to the during the field preparation, and it allows the crop residue or the stubble of the previous year crops left over on the soil to be lied on the ground rather than throwing it away or incorporating it into the soil. So this is called as reduced tillage or conservation tillage. So friends, next comes is the most awaited section of this lecture, that is answer of the day. In the previous lecture I had asked you a question: in which type of wind erosion fine soil particles less than 1 mm diameter which are suspended in the air are kicked up and taken away to distant places. See, wind is also an important climatic agent wherein because of which it it creates soil erosion, and based on the wind as the erosion agent, there are three types of erosions mainly. One is saltation, the other is suspension, and the third is surface creep. And here we were talking about suspension. Here fine soil particles less than 1 mm diameter which are suspended in the air are kicked up and taken away to distant places. Now what is saltation? Now this occurs under the influence of direct pressure of stormy wind, and even the soil particles of 1 to 1.5 mm diameter move up in vertical direction and move along with the wind. What is surface creep? Now here what happens is larger soil particles, that is 5 to 10 mm diameter, they creep over the soil rather than they got lifted into the air and thrown to other places. They creep over the soil and travel on the soil itself along with the wind, thereby displacement of the soil happens that result in soil erosion. So friends, here comes is the question of the day, and which says, which is more intensive practice for conserving the rainwater, especially on hilly areas or slopy areas, more conservative, more intensive practice than contouring, that is almost about twice as effective as contouring in conserving the rainwater. Now one hint is it is a type of agronomic practice. So thank you very much friends for watching this video, and if you have any queries please write to us at hello@edutab.co.in, and if you have any queries you can even reach us at the number given here. Thank you very much.